So good afternoon students. So in the last class I told you about different introduction to absorption, and how it is giving. We have also discussed about plasma profile, plasma drug concentration time profile, and with this, as I told you, there is a concentration required to give therapeutic effect, that is known as minimum effective concentration. If the drug will reach that concentration, then it will give the therapeutic effect. So it is some of the drugs there which will absorb well, but it will not reach that concentration. Before that, it will be excreted out from the body. So this type of drugs will not give therapeutic effect. This type of dosage form will not give therapeutic effect. With this, there are so many types of to enter the system circulation, so many types of routes there, and these routes can be affect your absorption process. So generally, the routes of drug administration, we are telling particularly, we are dividing into three types, as we know: enteral route, parenteral, and topical route. Enteral, parenteral, and topical route. So these are the three routes. Enteral route means it is for oral. That means the drug has to pass through GIT for oral. So in this enteral route, the drug need to be absorbed properly through different types of GI parts. Then only it will reach the systemic circulation. Then parenteral route, we don't need. If it is intravenous or intraarterial, then it is don't need any type of absorption process. But some of the parenteral routes, it's required. If you are giving subcutaneous or you are giving intramuscularly, slightly absorption process we will see, but that is not that much affecting the absorption process. With this, then the topical route, from the skin the drug is absorbed. So in this also the absorption process we will see. So that's why the absorption process we will see in every routes of drug administration. And with this, now we will discuss about what are the basic mechanism of drug absorption. Generally, the mechanism of drug absorption, we are telling us it's a three major mechanisms there. So let us discuss about this one. The first one is transcellular. Second one, paracellular. Third one, vesicular. So this transcellular is also called as intracellular. Paracellular also called as intercellular, and vesicular transport is also called as endocytosis. So these are the three basic processes what I told. Transcellular, or also it's called as intracellular mechanism, paracellular or intercellular transport, or third one vesicular or endocytosis. So these are the three basic processes of transport mechanisms where the drug is absorbed. So in this, let us discuss about the first one, is your transcellular or intracellular. So let us discuss about intracellular. Intracellular means through the epithelial cells. Intra means through the cells. So generally in this absorption mechanism, in this transport mechanism, drug is absorbed, transported through the GI epithelium. Transported through the GI epithelium. So generally three major steps involved in this mechanism. These three major steps are: the first one, permeation in GI epithelium. Second step, movement across intracellular space. Third one, permeation in lateral or basolateral membrane. So this try to understand, transcellular or intracellular means through the epithelium cell, what I told. So generally this transcellular involved in three steps involved in that process. First one, permeation in the GI epithelium. After that, movement across the intracellular space. Intracellular space means we are calling as cytosol. Then your permeation in lateral or basolateral membranes. Then the drug will permeate through it. So three basic steps involved in the intracellular transport mechanism. So this transcellular once again divided into two mechanisms. The transcellular process or intracellular transport mechanism involve two mechanisms. The first one is passive transport process. Passive transport process. Second one, active transport process. Passive transport process and active transport process. So both the mechanism, all the drugs will pass through the cells, but it may be passive transport or it may be active transport. Passive transport means, so in the details, individual mechanism we will discuss later. This is one basic introduction to mechanism of drug absorption. So in the passive transport process, what will happen? It does not require any type of energy. Drug will be transported through the cell its own due to different energy like kinetic energy or diffusion by other energy sources. So body would not utilize any type of energy in the passive transport mechanism. So that's why it's called as passive transport. Then coming to active transport mechanism, it needs energy. It needs energy from the body. That means from the ATP, the energy will be utilized for this mechanism, active transport mechanism. So there are so many types of passive transport process there, active transport process also there. There is not only single mechanism by which all the drugs are absorbed. So many mechanisms here. Some of the drugs there, they are absorbing in one process, others will follow different mechanism. So like that, in passive transport mechanism, first one is passive diffusion. Then you pore transport. Then ion pair transport. Then you facilitated diffusion. So these are the process involved in the passive transport process: passive diffusion, pore transport, ion pair transport, and facilitated diffusion. Then coming to active transport process, as I told you, it utilizes energy from ATP. So the body has to utilize energy for this absorption process. For this mechanism, body has to utilize some energy. Sometimes it is utilizing the energy directly from the body, sometimes it is indirectly utilizing the body, utilizing the energy from the body. So that's why this active transport process once again divided into two types. One is your primary active transport, secondary active transport. Primary and secondary. Primary means in primary active transport directly it will take energy from the ATP. In secondary active transport, once again, as I told you, directly it is not utilizing the energy, but indirectly it is taking energy from others. Suppose other molecules are utilizing energy, that energy it will take and it will be absorbed. So this secondary active transport is once again divided into two types. One is symport, another one antiport. Symport and antiport. Symport means your co-transport. Antiport means counter transport. So in the secondary active transport process, it is divided two types, symport and antiport. Symport means we are also calling as core transport. Antiport means counter transport. So in details we will discuss it later. It's there every step, what is passive diffusion, which theory it is followed, all the details we will discuss individually after completing this one introduction of this. So I am telling now symport antiport somewhat about how it is happening. In symport also it is called as co-transport. That means when one natural occurring molecule that is already present or one intracellular electrolyte is transporting through the membrane or cell, same time the drug molecule will also enter. One suppose sodium molecule is transporting through the cell, same time the drug molecule also will transport through that. So that's why it's known as co-transport. With the natural occurring molecule, it's transport. Counter transport means opposite direction. Suppose one is coming out from the cell, one molecule is coming out from the cell, same time it will enter. Same time it will enter inside the cell. That is known as counter transport. So this is all about your transcellular process. So in the next class we will discuss about intracellular transport and endocytosis. Then we will start about individually transport mechanism.